This feels so silly to even talk about. I'm working on it, you guys. You may not believe it, but I'm really working on it. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is fun. It's kind of old school because I'm sitting down, we're chatting. I'm feeling very inspired lately by the new year and like a fresh slate for 2024. I am so ready to say goodbye to 2023. I know Christmas is on the horizon, but I am all about new year, new goals, all of that. So I recently did that vlog all about kind of getting my groove back and prioritizing me a little bit amongst mom life of 4. And you guys love that. I got such good feedback from you guys about that. Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me. And it kind of got me thinking about going into 2024. What are the things that I want to change in how I operate every day? And what are the things that I want to keep the same? So I thought I would do a video about that today. It'll sort of have like my goals and resolutions. I don't love that term, but have those like woven in. And ultimately just what am I focused on for the new year? I hope it gives you some inspiration. You can join me on whatever this journey has in store for us in 2024. Of course, you never know what curveballs life is going to throw you, but I am ready for it. So let's get into it. So I'm not exactly sure what I'll title this video yet. I have a couple ideas in my head, so I'll see how it comes together. But basically I'm thinking like things I'm going to keep doing in the new year, things I'm already doing now that I want to continue doing, things I'm doing now that I want to stop doing. Like, what do I no longer want to carry with me? And like, what am I going to prioritize? What are my focuses? What am I really going to keep top of mind? So the first thing that I'm going to make sure I'm continuing to do is working out. Fitness is a huge passion of mine. And this last year, I kind of lost some of that because I was pregnant with twins. It's a high risk pregnancy. Then I had twins and then I was recovering from a C-section and then we were in the NICU. So I just really haven't had as much time to work out this last year as I would like to, and I want to make sure I'm prioritizing it in 2024, mainly just for my mental health. Like, it is such an important piece of my mental health and anxiety relieving. There's obviously so many benefits to working out, but that is something that I do prioritize now. I have prioritized more so in the past, and I want to continue doing that in the new year. So be prepared to see lots of that and hear lots of that from me in 2024. I'll try not to say 2024 too much in this video, but be prepared to see lots of that from me because I am super excited as the babies get older to just be able to take a little bit more time for me in the working out and fitness space. And also trying new workouts. Like, I really want to put myself out there more in the new year. I guess I'll just go ahead and make that number 2. I want to say yes in a healthy way to things and step outside my comfort zone. A good example of that was recently in that same vlog with the headshots I did. Like, I saw the studio I saw them doing a casting call for headshots. I DM'd them and was like, hey, I would love to be a part of this with you. I desperately need headshots. It was so much fun and a little bit outside of my comfort zone. And I just was so glad I did it. So I want to start doing that more, like just putting myself out there and seeing what comes from it. The next thing I am going to continue doing is taking my vitamins. It's really important to me to take my vitamins every single day. They make a really big difference in the nutrients I'm getting. Like I said, I'm a busy mom. I have a crazy schedule right now. Taking my multivitamins every day is one way to make sure I'm getting all the nutrients that my body needs, especially as a breastfeeding mom. So I am a big fan of Ritual vitamins. This part of the video is sponsored by Ritual. Thank you to them and to you guys for your support of my collaborations with brands like them. Ritual is a brand that I truly love and trust. I have used them for years now. You guys have seen me talk about their prenatal vitamins, you've seen me talk about their Essential for Women vitamins, and also now their postnatals. The postnatal phase is so demanding on your body, whether you're breastfeeding or not, but either way, you're recovering from having a baby, you're raising and taking care of a new baby. Ritual's prenatal has 12 essential nutrients for pregnant women. Their postnatal has 15, so it's got even more to support your body. It also has iodine, biotin, choline, and omega-3 DHA to support fatty acid content of breast milk for lactating women. The fact that Ritual offers a vegan DHA is huge for me because I am a vegetarian, and before I found Ritual, I was taking a prenatal that had DHA only from fish oil. So it actually didn't align with my diet. I really appreciate that Ritual lets me stick within my dietary restrictions, but also still give me the nutrients and vitamins that I need. Not only are they vegan, but they're gluten-free, allergen-free, non-GMO, and they contain no added sugar. Plus they have an amazing taste. The taste of Ritual vitamins is so great to me. The postnatal multivitamins have a nice minty taste, and it's just such a refreshing way to start your day. It's one part of my day that I never miss, and it's like that extra little me time. I keep talking about that, like finding the little slices of me time in your day. For me, taking my multivitamins is one of those moments. It may sound very small and very minor, but I promise just the act of it is something where I can be like, okay, this is something I'm doing for me. I spend a lot of my day doing things for other people, and so to be able to do this one little thing for myself is super important. And then also I'm supporting all the people that I'm taking care of. By keeping myself healthy, I am therefore supporting them. So the best part is that I have a discount for you guys. You can scan this QR code, click the link in the description box down below, and use my code OZAPO30. That will give you 30% off your first month at Ritual. Again, the link will be in the description box, and all of the information will be there to make it super simple on you. So I just talked about that little sliver of me time. That is something I really want to focus on doing in the new year. I've actually been talking to my therapist about it a lot, and she's talked to both me and Jordan about how we need to prioritize ourselves as parents in order to better take care of everybody else. It's kind of like that saying, you know, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I feel like lately I've been pouring from an empty cup, pretty much in all aspects of life. And she's talked to us about flipping a totem pole, right? Like it's a totem pole where we as parents always want to put our kids and everybody else first, especially moms. I think we do that a lot, where we tend to put everyone else in life first before us. And I end up feeling like the bottom of the totem pole often. So going into the new year, I really want to put myself and my husband at the top of the totem pole, just meaning that, like, you know, instead of doing laundry, I might take 10 minutes to take my vitamins, to get a quick stretch in or a meditation and let the laundry sit, you know, that sort of thing. Because if I'm filling my own cup and prioritizing myself, then everybody at the rest of the totem pole, everybody else in the family is going to reap those benefits. If I'm pouring from an empty cup and I'm feeling like the bottom of the barrel, everyone else is going to feel that from me. They're gonna feel my stress, they're gonna feel my exhaustion, they're gonna feel my unhappiness, and ultimately it's gonna affect my kids and it's gonna affect the people around me. I think mom guilt often prevents us from prioritizing ourselves. And in the new year, I wanna make sure that I don't feel guilty for it, because I am going to take better care of everyone else and nurture my relationships more and have more water to give others if my cup is full in the first place. Okay, the last three ones are kind of fun ones and a little quicker. So I wanna wear more color. In 2024, it is one of my resolutions to wear more color. This is like my compromise. You see this? I'm working on it, you guys. You may not believe it, but I'm really working on it. I have become like a total beige mom, and I honestly am not a fan of that phrase in a negative way, because I really feel like whatever you like, you should like. Who cares? I love neutrals. I'm still going to keep them in my home, because all around me, because to me, neutrals represent a calm mind. I grew up in a very colorful house, like in a very old antique house in Ohio that was very colorful with lots of different colors. And I've noticed in my adult life, I tend to go the opposite route. I like to look around and see neutrals, and it makes me feel calm. And I know that's not for everybody, but that's how it is for me. I've also done the same with my wardrobe, because I just tend to gravitate to those colors. And also I feel like they can mix and match really easily, and I don't know, I just love them. But I'm noticing as I tend to get in these like emotional funks, having a bunch of beige around me can kind of add to my blah mood lately. I always talk to Jordan about how it's why I like to keep my hair bright and blonde, because it just feels bright to me, like the sun. I mean, I have a daughter named after the sun, so I think it kind of makes sense in that way. But going into the new year, I really want to start wearing more color and pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. I'm just dipping my toes into it because I still want to feel like me, but I also feel like the same brightness I crave from the sun or from my blonde hair or from workouts, I realize now I will get that in my clothing. It feels like a very silly thing to say out loud, because I know so many of you guys are gonna be like, duh, Olivia, but for me it's a big step. So when I'm like looking at two sweatshirts now, I'm trying to pick the brightly colored one instead of the beige, and it's difficult for me, but I'm excited about it. This feels so silly to even talk about. Another thing I'm going to start doing in the new year is pelvic floor therapy. I'm excited for that because, like I mentioned, I have been recovering from a C-section. I mean, I'm I want to say I'm recovered from it, but I know realistically my abs are not, my body is not, it looks different, it feels different. My core is so affected by that surgery. And I have heard women, not just C-section recovering, but all postpartum women and non just swear by pelvic floor therapy. So I found a place locally I'm gonna check out. I'll kind of share a little bit about that if you guys want to. If you have done pelvic floor therapy, leave me a comment, tell me about it. I would love to hear about your experience. It's not covered by insurance where I live, so it's a little costly out of pocket. So I'm figuring I'll go for the initial evaluation, see what they have to say, and then maybe just start working on it at home or find some free resources. But I want to go in and actually have someone look at my body and diagnose and help me figure out what I need to do to repair some of that core damage from 3 full-term pregnancies, a twin pregnancy, a C-section. Like, my body's just been through so much in the last few years with having kids. So I'm excited to prioritize that in the new year, and I will share more about it as I do. And then the last thing I'm going to start doing in the new year is my newsletter. And I want to bring back our podcast. So I talked before about how I'm going to be launching my newsletter January 1st. I'm super excited for it. It's kind of getting my creative juices going all over again, which makes me really pumped. But I'm aiming for it to be a weekly touch point with you guys. So if I don't upload a video or something, or if you're not on Instagram, if you're not seeing me regularly, you have a one-stop shop for my content. It will have my most recent YouTube video linked. It will have my most recent Instagram posts. If I have anything on Poshmark, I'll have that link. You know, any affiliate codes or coupon codes I have from brands, I'll have in that spot. And then also highlighting, like doing like a weekly favorites kind of, like highlighting like the mama item I'm loving that week or the book I'm reading that week. Just sort of like one place to connect and keep everything very organized. And I think just having that touch point will, you know, hopefully keep us more connected, but also keep me feeling more inspired, have you guys feel like I'm not going MIA. Like, I'm just super excited for it. So it's gonna be coming out every Monday and starting January 1st, and I'll have the link in the description to sign up for that newsletter if you would like to. And then, like I said, Jordan and I really want to bring back our podcast. So we had a podcast a couple years ago called Zapo Chats, where we talked about like parenthood and life stuff and was very real and vulnerable. And we have so much material to work with after this last year. So much to update you guys on. We want to get really raw and candid about our experience this last year, especially with the NICU and life after that. So there will be a lot of good stuff to coming then. I don't think we'll be able to have it up by the first week in January because we're gonna have visitors for Christmas and everything, but sometime early in the new year, I would like to bring the podcast back. And if you guys have any topics that you would like us to cover in it, let me know in the description and I'll start making a topics list too. All right, so now what are some things that I'm going to stop doing in the new year? And I'll try not to be so chatty about it because I know this is getting to be a long video already. But the first thing I'm going to stop doing is seeking validation from outside sources, outside of myself and my family. And really mainly outside of myself. Being in this space on social media and also just some of the things I've been through in life, it is so easy to like seek validation from other people, whether that's your follower count, your business deals, your friend group, your, you know, check-ins from family members. Like, it's just so easy to tie your self-worth with the way others are perceiving you or responding to you or prioritizing you. And for me, it gets me so down sometimes. And I don't want to do that. I'm not carrying that energy. 2024 for me is all about my own validation. I am my biggest cheerleader. Like, I have my husband, I have my kids, and outside of that, I just don't want to worry about it. Like, I feel like the last year or two, I have been scared to fully be me. And it's exhausting, like walking on eggshells all the time. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be me. And if people like it, great. And if they don't, then great. That's fine too. So that's the energy I'm taking into in the new year. I really want to fill my own cup. That way it's only on me if I'm starting to feel down. And it's only on me if I'm feeling a lack of motivation or I'm feeling a little, you know, like emotions and energies ebb and flow all the time anyways, but I don't want to feel like my self-worth is connected to anything outside of myself and like what I'm doing for my kids. It can go down a really slippery slope and I don't want to do that. So 2024 for me is the year about cutting off seeking validation through outside sources, and validating myself. Validating is for parking, honestly. So it's all about self-esteem and confidence, but 2024 is the year that I'm getting my confidence back. Along the same lines, I want to stop making comparisons and understand that we are all in different seasons of life. This is something I've been super focused on lately because we at our house are in a tough season. We have twins who are almost 8 months old. We have a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, things with the school setting that we're dealing with, things with the twins that we're dealing with, medical things we're dealing with, house stuff we're dealing with, and a lot goes on behind the scenes that I don't share. And I often, when I see what other people are doing, sometimes it can get me down, like, why can I not handle that? Or why am I flailing so much and other people are able to go travel the world? Or, you know, just as a little example. But we are all in different seasons of life. The way my family looks right now is so different than the way anybody else might look. And there's somebody in a different season who's probably looking at my family and thinking the same thing. And so I want to continue reminding myself that this is a season of life. Just like there are 4 seasons in the year, there are so many different seasons of parenting, and this is just one of them. And the next season will be here before we know it. But the comparison game is such, like I've said it before, and I need to remind myself of it more often, that comparison is the thief of joy. And it's so true. It's like you can be totally happy and great with what you have, and as soon as you start playing the comparison game, it starts to get you down. So I'm not gonna do that in 2024. We are in a very specific season of life right now, and anyone who's super close to us can see that. But I am just going to accept and love what I have in front of me and be appreciative of it and hold on to it and cherish it and not worry about what we are not right now. I shared on Instagram that we had one day over Thanksgiving when I was like super overwhelmed and crying, and like our family felt like it was just like really struggling that day. And Jordan told me that we need to hold on and love and accept and cherish everything that our family is and let go of all the things that we are not. And that's what I really want to focus on in the new year. Like, no more comparison. Like I said, seeking my own validation and, you know, being happy with what's right in front of me. I'm so lucky to have all of it. And even though it's so overwhelming at times, I'm so lucky to have it all. And the overwhelm is just the season of life that we're in. And eventually my kids will be up and out of the house and quiet. And I'll be like, what do I do with all of this? You know, or we'll get through it all, and all the medical stuff with Soleil, we'll get through all of it and then be able to look back and be like, man, we did that. Like we did that, you know? It's just, we're doing it now. So sometimes it's hard to have that perspective in the moment, but I want to be more aware of that going into 2024. And if you are in a hard season as well, just know you're not alone. It is a season of life, and we will move into the next season before we know it, just like we're moving into the new year. I'm gonna try not to cry. I will not cry because I did my makeup today and I worked hard on it, and I will not ruin it. Last thing, they're kind of tied, but I'm going to know my limits and stop overloading my plate. I am somebody who I say yes, yes, yes. I'm a yes man. Like, if you guys have seen that movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey, that's like how I operate through life pretty much. I say yes to everything, and it's fun in a lot of ways. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I want to put myself out there more and say yes to new and different things. But I tend to like overload our day with multiple doctor's appointments or social things. I think we need to attend all of them, and our whole family needs to attend, not just a couple people. And I want to know our limits. Like, for example, there's a party this weekend that is for one of Jordan's friends' family, and he's gonna take just the boys, and I'm gonna stay home with just the girls. And like, I need to be okay with that we can't do it all the time everywhere, because it's led to burnout for me this last year. And instead, I want to know my limits. Like, going into the new year, I want to put the newsletter out, I want to put the podcast out, but I'm going to do it in a reasonable time for the podcast. I'm not going to rush to get it out the first week of January, because I know that's not realistic. It's just going to burn us out. But I'm going to put it on the horizon, and I'm not going to worry about, you know, stretching my business and doing these crazy big things right now, because I'm not in that place right now in life. But I do want to do a little bit of creative stuff. So I'm trying to think of what's realistic for me that allows me to be creative, but also isn't too much on my plate. You know what I mean? So I'm going to stop saying yes to every single thing in the new year, and instead say yes selectively. And, you know, again, go back to like what fills my cup. If it's not going to fill my cup, I'm not going to do it. Granted, there's always going to be some days where we have to have 2 doctor's appointments on the same day, but I don't have to do it that way every time. Like just knowing what we're capable of and what is going to lead to a good result versus a super stressed one is what's really top of mind for me in the new year. Okay, I think that's everything that I have on my mind right now. I know, just like a couple casual resolutions, you know? But also I'm gonna give myself grace because I feel like every year we all set these New Year's resolutions. We all feel super inspired going into the new year. At least that's how I feel right now. But if some of these things don't work out, that's totally fine. I'm not going to hate on myself for it. Like, I want to give myself grace this year. Above all else, give myself grace. I can tend to be my own worst critic. I'm very hard on myself, as many people are. And I'm not gonna do that this year. I'm gonna start loving myself and doing that, you know, practicing self-confidence and validating myself. And I hope you guys will do the same. I hope this gave you a little bit of inspo as we head into the new year. I'll definitely share more about the things I talked about as they develop. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a bit of a different format from what I've been doing lately. Not a day in the life vlog, but just sort of getting back to my roots of sitting down and chatting. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.